The world of flagship smartphones is about to be rocked again, and this time, the seismic event is the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. We are TapTech, and you are plugged into the most authentic spec analysis on the web. You've probably heard the whispers, the outlandish rumors, the promises that stretch the limits of belief. But what if the biggest leak about the S26 Ultra isn't a single feature, but the entire direction Samsung is taking? Stick with us, because what we're about to reveal paints a picture of a foundational shift for the Android king. Let's talk about the authentic S26 Ultra. First, let's address the inevitable question, the release date. Samsung has a historical pattern, almost a tradition, of announcing its S-series flagships in the first quarter of the year. For the Galaxy S26 Ultra, the most consistent and credible reports point toward a debut in January 2026. While there has been conflicting chatter about a slight delay into March due to development timelines on the non-Ultra models, the Ultra itself is largely rumored to be on track. Prepare your wallets for an early 2026 launch, keeping Samsung firmly in the lead of the annual flagship race. As for the price, anticipate a marginal, but noticeable, bump over its predecessor, with initial leaks suggesting it will approach the $1,300 to $1,400 mark for the base configuration. Now, for the upgrades, starting with the heart of the device, the processor. This is perhaps the most fascinating and contentious development. For years, the Ultra line has been exclusively Snapdragon-powered globally. That streak may be about to end. Multiple, high-credibility sources suggest Samsung is planning a significant return to its in-house chip for the S26 Ultra in many key global markets, the Exynos 2600. But here's the shocker, leaked performance benchmarks hint that the Exynos 2600, built on Samsung's advanced 2nm process, is not just competitive with the expected Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which will likely be reserved for the North American and a few other select markets, but potentially superior in key areas. We're talking about up to 30% better GPU and NPU performance compared to the Snapdragon counterpart. The most dramatic leap is in the neural processing unit, the engine for all things AI. The Exynos 2600 is tipped to be up to 6 times faster in AI processing than its main competitor, a massive boost that ties directly into the new software features we'll discuss later. This isn't your grandfather's Exynos, this is a potential game-changer, indicating that for the first time in years, the regional chip lottery might favor the Exynos variants. Either way, expect unparalleled raw performance and power efficiency from both the Exynos 2600 and the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, solidifying the S26 Ultra as a performance beast. Let's move to the most highly scrutinized part of any Ultra phone, the camera system. While the total number of megapixels might look familiar, the upgrades are foundational. The main wide-angle camera is widely expected to stick with a 200MP sensor, but here's the crucial detail, it will be an entirely new sensor, potentially a larger 1/1.1-inch Sony sensor. This is a significant physical increase from the S25 Ultra's 1/1.3-inch sensor. A physically larger sensor captures substantially more light, resulting in dramatically improved low-light performance, better dynamic range, and a more natural depth of field. Furthermore, one rumor points to a faster aperture on this main lens, perhaps moving to f/1.4, which would further amplify light-gathering capabilities. The dual telephoto system is also getting attention. The $3/text optical zoom lens is rumored to be upgraded to a higher resolution 12MP sensor, up from previous generations, for sharper mid-range portraits. The $5/text periscope telephoto is expected to retain its 50MP sensor, but with potential aperture improvements for better low-light zoom shots. The collective rumor mill points to a system where the hardware and the Exynos 2600's powerful NPU work in tandem. This will translate to smarter image processing, a significant reduction in the typical oversharpening we've sometimes seen, and a new era for Samsung's computational photography. The display, already best in class, is receiving an innovative feature. The S26 Ultra is tipped to feature the new M14 OLED panel, which is not only more power efficient but can also achieve a peak brightness rumored to exceed 3000 nits, competing with the absolute brightest screens on the market. But the truly innovative feature is the rumored Flex Magic Pixel technology, or what Samsung is reportedly calling a privacy display. This is a potential game changer for public usage. This technology would allow the screen to intelligently limit its viewing angles from the sides, effectively acting as an integrated, customizable privacy filter without the user having to compromise on brightness or color accuracy. It's a huge, long-awaited security and privacy win that eliminates the need for annoying physical screen protectors. The display size is expected to remain around 6.9 inches, but with slightly more rounded corners, moving away from the very sharp, boxy design of its predecessors. Finally, let's talk about battery and charging, a long-standing point of contention for Samsung users. The consensus is that the battery capacity will remain at 5000 mAh. However, the charging speed is finally seeing a meaningful bump. Forget 45W. The most consistent and credible reports, corroborated by firmware analysis, suggest the Galaxy S26 Ultra will support 60W wired fast charging. While some other leaks hint at 65W, 60W is the figure most backed by the community. While still not the fastest in the industry, this is a substantial upgrade that will noticeably reduce charge times, likely getting you to an 80% charge in around 30 minutes. This increased speed, coupled with the new, more power-efficient M14 display and the 2nm Exynos Elite Gen 5 chip, suggests a huge leap in effective battery life and charging convenience. In summary, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is not just an incremental update. The authentic leaks point to a device that is tackling its historical weaknesses head-on. A potential world-beating Exynos chip, a physically larger and smarter main camera sensor, a revolutionary privacy display, and a much-needed increase in charging speed, it all adds up to a flagship that aims to reclaim the undisputed Android crown. The wait is almost over. This has been Tap Tech, authentic specs for your insatiable curiosity. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, Exynos or Snapdragon, which version are you hoping to get your hands on?